Hello and welcome back to the Chronicles of a Gooner, the Arsenal podcast, brought to you by the last man standing with loserpool.com. As ever, I'm your host, Harry Symeou. Apologies, there hasn't been a full-length podcast for a few days now. That is because it's Christmas and everything is so hectic, so busy at the moment. And when you're as bad as me in terms of leaving shopping and all sorts of other things till the last minute, this is what happens, unfortunately. But work's been really busy as well. And that's, of course, because the Christmas period has so much football in it, doesn't it? There's so much to talk about, so many big discussion points, so many good games in the Premier League as well. We saw second versus third at the weekend, and then we're going to see first versus second this coming Boxing Day as well, which is, of course, on Thursday. So really looking forward to that. And, of course, Arsenal, more importantly, go to Bournemouth, Mikel Arteta's first game in charge. Really enthused about that. Been really impressed by his press conferences and his ideas and the way he's been speaking. He really seems to captivate his audience, which is something that you couldn't say about Unai Emery. So I'm feeling good about this, and I'm hoping that it's going to work out. And I'm optimistic, a lot more optimistic than I was when I just heard the name Arteta. Now that we've started to see a little bit about or a little bit of what Mikel Arteta is all about, I think everybody's feeling a lot better. And look, let's not be under any sort of false illusions. We're not exactly gonna all of a sudden become this top side, and I don't expect our away form to improve dramatically over the space of a few training sessions. So Bournemouth is still going to be a difficult game, I would say. But you know, I'm optimistic that Arsenal can go there and win. Bournemouth haven't been great in the last couple of months. They picked up a few points in the last couple of weeks, but prior to that they were really struggling. They've had a lot of injury problems, and Eddie Howe was probably really unfortunate because his sort of dip in form coincided with when a couple of bigger jobs became available, which ultimately would have ruled him out of the running. Me personally, I don't think he's good enough anyway for an Everton or an Arsenal, but there are people out there that do. So yeah. Now, in terms of a prediction for the weekend, I keep saying the weekend, but it's Boxing Day, and Boxing Day is on Thursday. Christmas always throws me off with the dates. In terms of a prediction, I think Arsenal might get off to a win. I'm feeling optimistic, feeling positive. I think we'll nick it, and I think we'll come away from there with 3 points. And fingers crossed we can build on that and move forward. Really excited by Mikel Arteta, like I've already said. And apologies once more for the lack of content in the last couple of days, but it's just the way it is. It's a really busy period. But we'll be back, as I said, on Friday morning to bring you a full review of that fixture. So please do subscribe, like, share if you haven't already. And I'd like to wish you all a Merry Christmas. Hope you all have a great time with your families and with your friends, of course. In the past 28 days, the podcast has accrued over 75,000 listens or views. So I'm really pleased by that. Big thanks to all of you. We've hit 4,000 subscribers on here, but we want to get to 5 by the end of the season. That was the aim at the start of this Premier League campaign. So we're on the right track. We were around about 3,000. We're halfway there now, sort of coming up to the midway point of the season. So really pleased. Thank you so much for your continued support. I hope you have a good one, and I'll be back very soon with more. Until then, take care. Ciao.